Hi, my name is Ruiz. I'm the Director of Operations at Lee Building Maintenance.
Who was a leadership mentor or role model who inspired you and why?
His name would be Bill Warnke. I worked with Bill when I first was introduced into the janitorial business. Bill was a coach and a mentor besides being one of my first supervisors or managers. Bill just led from the front. Remember, we'd always go to a new building setup, and it was on a Saturday, sometimes on a Sunday. And Bill would always be there, bringing coffee and donuts, building equipment, meeting the crew and the staff. I took inspiration from that, so I have not missed a startup, and I always do the same thing that Bill does.
What has surprised you about your current leadership position?
I think what surprised me is how well my experiences have adapted me to a smaller company. Come from several different companies that were much larger, both in revenue and employee base. But the same skills and I think expertise that I brought to those companies I bring here in a very impactful role as well. I think just being face to face with your employees is important besides the regular customer service and client interactions.
What is your biggest leadership lesson learned?
I think the biggest leadership lesson that I've learned is FaceTime. And what I mean by FaceTime is to be present with your staff. It isn't just being present on a phone call or a Zoom meeting, but actually being present with them in the sense of you relate to them, you ask about their families, you ask about their issues and concerns, you ask them how certain things can be improved. You definitely want their feedback. And I think that goes a long way to making the team work cohesively and also being able to trust one another.
What has been one of your best leadership decisions? Why and what was the impact?
One of the biggest ones and the best one is we took over a new account in Washington, D.C., where I used to had my career. It's a unionized town, so the staff typically stays because they're union. And the leader of that team was a female, and she had been with the previous company, 14 years. She didn't think that they were doing anything bad or wrong, that their service and performance was great. So she took that as a negative and kind of focused all her energies on me as the new manager of the account. So what I ended up doing is trying to win her approval, and because she obviously drove the minds and the thinking of each of her staff members below her, is I tried to introduce a couple different things that would let her understand that was not their performance, as just a decision that was made business-wise. And what I did was I came in one day and I brought a camera. It was one of those Polaroid instantaneous cameras, and I took photos of each one of them, put them on a board and put their names and then put their country of origin. The next week I came in and I took those photos and made them name tags, and I put the name of our company, our logo and name of the company, plus the country that they came from. So I had asked them, each one of them, where they came from, certain things about their country. What that ended up doing is the clients or the tenants in the building would ask them, oh, what part of Mexico are you from? What part of this country you're from? And it opened them up to more exposure to the clients, and they realized that I was just like them. And we ended up getting along, and she became one of my best employees.
What has been one of your worst business decisions? Why and what did it teach you?
I think the worst one was not putting my foot down when an employee that we knew was not doing well and should have not been around the company as long as they were, decided to resign. And I accepted the resignation, but I was told by our CEO to make it right and keep her on board. After I explained to them the situation and the issues. And unfortunately, I did not stick to my guns and make my case to let them sort of go on their way. And the same issues that have been happening continue to happen with her. And I should have just put my foot down and said, no, this is the reason why we should let her go. And she also resigned, so it makes it easier for us to change it.
What excites you about the future of your company and business in general?
The janitorial business is going to be around for a long time. I think what ended up happening during the pandemic is that there was a new focus on cleaning, disinfecting. I think people understood that we were coming in after all of them were home and disinfecting their places of business, and there's a little bit more of added respect, if I would say that, and importance to our staff. I think that it will not change, and hopefully will improve down the road as well. So I think it will be impactful. That is not going to be viewed as one of the lesser services or contracts you can have, but kind of rated pretty high as far as keeping your tenants and your places of business healthy.
Do you have any advice for an aspiring entrepreneur?
Yes, I think one of the biggest things that they should do is be open. A lot of leaders say I have an open door, but the door's open, but their minds are not open or their emotions are open. So if it's an open door policy, make it an open-minded policy that you are true to your word. I think integrity and honesty and being direct in your responses, whether they hurt someone or hurt yourself, should be the most important things a leader can do.